I'm Natti-Lin. You guys are Twitch. We're in Rec Room. I'm a little bit early just because, I get antsy and I like showing up early to stuff, okay? Except for when I'm late. Sometimes that happens. So, I finally wisened up and I got a chair, like a bar stool in the middle of my living room I'm sitting on. And that's going to keep me from getting tired while we attend this Q&A session. I've got my phone. So, hold on, let me make sure that all my stuff's working properly. Get on my if this then that. This is my phone pose, by the way. If any of you see me in game and I look like this, it's because I'm looking at my phone. This hand is the one holding my headset, this one. And this is the one holding my phone, so the controllers are just dangling. I'm a very classy VR person. Okay. Okay, cool. Looks like my stuff has been posted. I've got the thing on my phone. I'll be checking the Twitch chat every minute or so. So don't be afraid. Ask them questions you want answers to. I know Mama Monkey said she had some questions. So if I can get a word in, I'll bring up some of the questions she had because they were kind of fun. Oh, also, there was supposed to be an update to the game today. Unfortunately, there's a bug and they haven't been able to put out the release yet. We're waiting for it. It could happen any minute. It could happen tomorrow. We don't know. Speaking of any minute, I purchased some land in what's it called? Meta World today. It's supposed to be a giant VR MMO where you purchase real land. Well, you purchase virtual land with real money. So that's going to be really interesting. It was supposed to come out in early access today. Unfortunately, they've delayed it due to circumstances. So, we'll see. But anyway, let's get to this dev thing. Woo! For those of you that don't know, we're attending a Q&A session with the developers. Ooh, package. Ooh, I don't hate this one. I don't want it, but I don't hate it.
Yeah, I already invited Amir. I'm waiting to see it. Just kind of pop up.
Hey guys,
You guys waiting for something to happen?
yeah, the new Q&A. Also,
Q&A
Sean said we get to be part of the trailer if we stayed.
Oh, really? I didn't see that. I haven't been on the Discord in the
That's
past 2 hours, so...
who
I've been here.
No, I don't know yet.
I can't leave the Discord open because if I have the Discord open when I start Rec Room, I can never get the microphone.
That's interesting.
I have to start Discord after Rec Room to be able to use both at the same time.
You could tell Discord not to use your microphone.
Yeah, have you manually set the audio device in Discord?
Yes, but it has no effect if Rec Room's already running. Like it can't.
Oh, that might not be
Ready for the Q&A for the update?
That may or may not be a Rec Room already running thing, and
that
a
update
Discord
that just came
doesn't
out,
like
right?
to change audio devices bug.
That's true. Could be Discord's fault too, or some combo.
Could be that too.
I don't know.
Because Discord's done that to me many times.
Try
That's why
virtual
I
audio
switched over.
cable or banana
When
meter.
I mean you too.
Yeah, I'm using Banana
Can't teleport
now.
again.
To manage all my
Programs
stuff.
I
So I
can
can,
download or something?
Are you ready?
yeah,
Watch
yeah,
the
it gives
door,
you some
man.
virtual
It's
audio
gonna
devices,
change. It's gonna
so
be magical.
you can route your audio through these virtual devices.
I'm getting a Rec Room shirt.
And then, so you just tell Rec Room, or you just tell Windows and Discord, be like, these are the virtual devices you listen to, and then using a different program, you can dynamically change what's feeding into those.
I recorded for the first one.
It's a lot easier to manage now.
Like how do they?
I don't know. Why doesn't Windows have virtual audio cable functionality? Couldn't tell you. Really should.
Just disappeared. Wait, I'm getting a second. I remember in like the second
matter,
featured
right? You
event, I
can't play
think it
Rec
was
Room
Murder
on
Mystery.
OS.
There was like a whole crowd of people trying
There
to get
is going to be a Steam VR OS X build, so once that happens, maybe. Alright, 5 seconds, everybody.
The door.
See you all inside.
4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Oh, event not ready.
Oh.
Commence the spam.
Hey, Kurt.
Oh, there. Nope.
Dum-dums, you're not
Maybe?
I'll be back.
posted. No,
Aww.
it's not different.
How about now? Are we there yet?
Oh.
Are we there yet?
Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Move, salamander!
I don't wanna.
Now go. Get out of the.
It's not open yet.
Not red.
It's not ready yet.
Dumb it.
So.
No shit.
Yo, when I
Out of
try to
that.
go through this door, it takes me to a random ass lounge.
Oh, we just watched it.
Does it do it for you now?
Guys, it's
No.
four,
World,
it's
open the
four.
door.
no,
we
it just
drove all
goes
the
Feature
way
event.
here.
Go! Come on, guys! Come on! This is
Someone
the
get
moment we've been
Sean.
waiting
Let's all
for.
yell at
Why
Sean.
don't
event
you go
is not
over?
ready. Wait, guys, I got this. I'm gonna do it.
Gave you that idea, Salamander.
Oh, there's Sean. Sean's at it.
Sean's been in there for the past few minutes. They're setting up.
People need
Guys,
me.
it's really nice in here.
Can't go in there?
You know, I can see
Can you hit the
Sean.
door from the other side?
No, you
What
can't.
exactly can you set up available?
Let's go! Oh my
get
god,
ready.
gonna be
they
different
actually
after
added
tonight.
trees!
This is
Come
gonna be
on.
an interesting thing because
That's
they
been
don't
there for a
have the
long time.
maker pen to demo
T-Money's
it, so they
on.
just have to
Keep the door open,
describe
I
the
can't.
concept.
T-Money's on. They're getting more devs in there. They're coming on
Yeah.
right now.
They'll just kind
Wait,
of like
sorry,
put on
it's
their
on?
headsets when it's time to go.
Dude,
Checking
wait,
if Sarius is on. No, just
Probably,
T-Money
dude,
and
'cause
What
Sean.
you're gonna do? What you're gonna do is you're gonna spam the door until it lets you in, okay?
Hello. It already
Pigeons!
Yo,
Oh.
pigeons.
Well,
Everyone
we'll
get
tell
over
you
here for
when.
the feature
Oh, hey, I
event!
kill pigeons.
You too? I knew you were
I'm
cool.
spamming it.
That's kind of
I'm spamming.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, hey, you guys are in the Discord.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm Avelia. I was posting in there
they're
earlier.
Only they're on the Discord.
Oh, no,
I feel unwanted. I feel
Everyone get back
unwanted.
from the door. Everyone get back from the door. This place is closed down.
Screw off.
Where did
It's
those
closed
codes
down.
come from?
Nah.
They sit over here normally.
Oh, okay.
Oh
My
God.
thumb's getting tired.
I destroyed it.
Use your other hand. You have two,
Get the
don't you?
confetti guns. Guys. Oh, what?
Hey, Forbin, how's it going?
Dang it, my friend's on. Oh, come on. Guys, we can go. We can.
Woo!
Hey.
Oh, that was amazing.
No, we're lagging.
Oh,
Guessing 30. I'm not lagging.
You're
I mean, I didn't set it.
How's
it going?
Hey, Ridley, how many people this
This is
Oh.
Hey, John, I hear Zhang Yi. Zhang Yi.
Oh, hey,
John! Chung-Yi's gotta make the rounds. Give everybody
Hey, what's up,
Oh, there you are.
Johnny, happy early birthday!
Happy birthday.
Grilby.
Oh, okay.
It's makeup pen.
Birthday party.
It's actually tomorrow. It's my birthday.
Oh, there it is.
I saw you toxic. Don't try to run from me. Don't you try to run from me, Shoxic. I saw you.
Discord.
Oh, how did I lose my glove?
Oh, sure. We can start with that.
There we go.
Yeah.
Emily just posted on the Discord. I thought it came out yesterday.
Let's chat for a second. So, something that's, we got a couple of things to talk about today. We want to start with something that we don't normally do in QAs, which is do a group photo. The reason is we're making a new trailer. So,
Yeah!
Oh my god.
so Cloud here is actually, this is actually T-Money, our concept artist, using Cloud's headset because his headset exploded. Long story. And so he would,
Actually, that's a really short story.
yeah, he would like to take a bunch of photos of you all.
It's just he's online.
Everyone waving and smiling and looking happy, and you'll very likely end up in the new trailer. So is that all right? Can we do that?
Yeah.
Yeah!
Yeah.
All right.
Let's morph into
His mic isn't working. By the
Oh,
way.
these
bunch of
hats!
people that you guys gotta turn down
People
your
with big
teleport
hats
bubble.
get in the back.
I'm short.
Teleport bubble.
No, I'm short.
Oh, I'm crouching.
Wait, I don't think I'm in.
That hurts.
Oh, there it goes. Who's got the fat ass teleport?
Really hit the button.
Oh my god.
Pretty much everyone.
Move.
Oh my god. Are you using the viewfinder? What's going on? We will.
Help, I keep getting teleported back. It's so painful.
That's because you're too close.
We move. Stuff disappearing.
Put your watch down, man. Get rid of this.
We move.
Stranger danger!
Ow! Ow! I tripped on my cord.
Space Invader, Space Invader. Space Invader.
Oh my gosh, what's up? There's not enough room.
No!
Back! I'm back!
This keeps happening to me.
I am actually very happy.
Is this gonna
Do
be
I
in
have
the
advanced settings?
where it says millions? I mean,
advanced settings.
tons of players.
Am I gonna be famous? I can't even teleport.
Oh, jeez. Pigeon, your mohawk is too big.
I will be. I'd like to get after this.
Hey, my mohawk is rad and awesome. It's not too big. And it's just
It's
right.
in the way.
I'll duck down. There you go.
Your mohawk is in the picture here.
Whoa.
My mohawk is perfect. Don't you diss it.
Woo! Just all disembodied hands.
See, everyone else got get involved.
Oh yeah.
Well, if I knew there'd be pictures,
send
I'd
them
put
so
on
many
my
frog
like
friends you-
I got my
awesome
camera.
lumberjack outfit.
There's my camera.
We should have all dressed
Everyone!
as Gribbly.
with him, and then they'll all play
Yeah. Hey, that's my default outfit. It's not my fault you copied me before I got it.
Hey, who took my camera?
Right.
What's the maker
You should
No,
you should
Gribbly
have
only
programmed
makes
something
never
cool
worn
and never got
this.
that reward, you know, if you didn't want me to wear it.
Oh, man. This is so awesome. This is so awesome. I left by accident.
Me too.
And I was like, oh, no! I was so mad. I was like, no! And I get back in. I was like very happy.
No dabbing.
I want to see 3D pen so bad. First event
Show's
ever.
over.
Yes, please.
Oh, you got
Stop drawing things.
Oh God,
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I can't get a good picture.
Mom, get your camera.
Mom, get the camera.
Sorry, Delco.
Mom, get the camera.
Where's the microphone?
Just spawn another one.
I ate it.
Your mohawk is awesome.
with the microphone.
Just make it Mike.
This is very
Saving that. Saving that.
This is very
I'm
exciting.
also picking that.
All I hear is the
Alright. So, welcome to today's
My
Q&A.
mohawk is amazing. You know
Thank
it.
you everyone for coming. So, I want to start with the confession. You ready for this?
Yeah.
Yes.
So the confession is, we didn't manage to ship the maker pen in time for today's Q&A. So, I know!
Calm down.
Alright. What I can say is that it was all Cloud's fault, so blame him.
Wow, that's not your fault.
Loud.
Alright,
Do we
alright,
have
hang on, where did my, would you grab another pen for me? I don't know where my pen went.
Oh, sure.
Okay, so sorry about that, because I was planning to show you all of the new features of the Maker Pen. Instead, I was going to tease you by talking about it. We're very hopeful that we can get the update out on Monday instead. We've been trying to fix a bug all day. We don't ship on Fridays because we've learned the hard way that when we ship on Fridays, something inevitably breaks on Saturday. Then we all have to come into the office and we get
Ice
sad.
skating was awesome.
Okay, that was awesome. I agree. So apologies for the delay.
Best way to get kicked from a
I'd love to
match.
talk to you a little bit about it, get some initial thoughts, and also I would love to talk a little bit about just generally about sandbox mode and custom rooms and what your experience has been like with that, and any ideas and thoughts and feedback you have on all of that kind of stuff. Because the Maker Pen, sandbox mode, custom rooms, these are all part of a system we're building with the goal of allowing you to make your own custom activities, custom rooms, kind of get very, very creative with Rec Room. We're at the beginning of a long road, but every step of the way we want to be checking in and making sure that we're doing it in a way that's fun and useful.
You get teleported back, Frog.
Excuse me.
Did I?
Hang on, we got Jacob, what you got?
Okay. I was thinking about for the sandbox mode, like maybe if you were in the park,
Froggy.
you could spawn in
This
enemies.
is gonna be a lot more boring than I thought.
Yeah, okay.
Spawning
Yeah, we had a
enemies would be
couple.
great.
We had a couple of posts on Reddit about that. Yes, I think that's something we're definitely going to look at. I would say what we'll do before that, and something that's very high on our list, is putting in respawn points. So being able to like have respawn points that come out of that. Yeah.
I have a question. Okay.
Yeah.
I was thinking not only that we add the enemies to the sandbox, but also the props in it, like to make it more a good environment for it.
Yeah, like the kind of the cutout trees from Quest and stuff like that from Crimson Cauldron.
Yeah.
Is that the kind of thing you mean?
Please.
Yeah,
Spawners. What about spawners?
So I very rarely say anything that is this deliberate because I like to leave myself an out in case we screw something up. But we are definitely going to do that. We are for sure going to do that.
That's my favorite bug.
Yes, that bug. That glitch happened to me. This happens.
I got it.
Someone grab it. Someone grab us.
It's not a bug. It's a feature.
Did no one grab it?
Yeah, there you go.
Each other.
Just pull it back to the stage.
Someone get a picture of this.
Professionals at work here.
Wow,
Picture taken.
All right, see if we can get another one. Oh, hang on, I can get one.
Yeah.
Let's get another one.
Hey guys, this is my
Oh, he's just gonna fly up. Thanks, good.
Okay, hey, don't worry about it, Gerhard. I got another one. But thank you. I got another one. So let me talk a little bit about what the Maker Pen is going to be. This is the part where I'm teasing you. So basically, it has gravity. It actually falls when you drop it. So that's one very special thing.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
Yeah. So basically, what the Maker Pen is it's an evolution of this, which is just the standard 3D pen that you know and love from charades. But basically, what we've done is first things first. We've given it its own watch menu. So the way it's going to work is you kind of look at it the way you look at your watch. Whoop, it pops up a menu, and then you've got all these different options. So that felt like a pretty cool thing that we can likely apply to all kinds of things down the road. This is actually really hard to. I feel like I'm stuck behind this thing. So that's one thing. And then with that new UI space, we've added a bunch of new functionality to the Maker Pen. So first, who realized that in our last update, we made these shapes that you can build, we made them sticky. Did people realize that? So you can stick it to yourself?
I did realize that.
I've been sticking on my
Thought it was a glitch.
Yeah, okay, so good. So I'm glad people have been playing with that. And so we're kind of doubling down on that and making that more powerful. So you can stick them to anything, you can stick them to yourself, and crucially, you can stick them to each other in a way that they kind of remember how they're stuck together. Yeah. And so you can build quite complicated objects. Like I've been building robots all week. They're pretty fun. I'll post a couple examples on Discord and Reddit after we're done with the Q&A. And you might have seen one on the poster was like a very early version was us testing the Maker Pen. And so that kind of has another feature that we have. We added the ability to draw shapes. So you can draw cubes, you can draw spheres, you can draw various kinds of triangles, various kinds of primitives. And so it very much feels like putting things together out of like styrofoam. Like, so you're kind of making like these big shapes. Really, really fun. We also added a bunch of colors. There's now, I don't know Cloud, how many colors are there? There are now 16 colors.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Wow.
So you can do.
Wow.
There is also.
I can make all the rainbows.
This is also there's some pretty basic stuff. There's also a clone button, so that you can just kind of point at a shape you've already built and copy it.
I'm not gonna lie. I think
That's gonna be
in a video game.
It's fun. There is a delete button, so that you can like just point at something and delete it, remove it from the world. And there is a. So not yet. In this first iteration, it's just going to be one shape, and so, but we're definitely looking towards some things that we want to build towards, being able to clone entire shapes, and also being like something we don't support yet is resizing. So you can size things as you build them. So to draw a square, you just kind of go, and there's a square. So it's like very much like doing this.
Yes.
That's how it is.
No, I don't have to draw happy squares.
Picture it.
Right.
Trust us. That's how it goes.
Yeah. You want to hear that again? You ready? You do it like this.
Making that noise.
Yeah. Okay. What else about the? So, all right. So, I mean, I think that is the basics of the Maker Pen, and so obviously the idea of it is that you can get it out of the sandbox machine. You can draw a bunch of stuff with it. So, like, we want to make it so that, like, if you are like, oh, hey, I want to make a baseball game, you can build like the bases yourselves. You can build the equipment you need yourselves, all with the Maker Pen, and you're not relying on us to, like, make all of the activities. We're obviously going to keep making quests. We're going to keep making paintball stuff. We're going to keep making. We have a very exciting new game that we're secretly working on, and I'm not going to talk about.
Wait, so you made this so you could slack off?
You tease.
And, but yeah, what it means is that we hope that you can build things using the Maker Pen, and that we can learn from what you want to do, what is possible and what isn't possible. We could be like, all right, if we add this feature to the Maker Pen,
please.
Tell them I'm fun. I love that. Yeah, you got told. Woo. So that's basically it. So first of all, reactions to the Maker Pen. How does that sound?
Woo!
Yeah. All right, good.
I mean, last time, the other one.
I think it's cool.
Don't jump.
Okay, good. So, this is now getting way more speculative. Something that we're experimenting with, and this. Don't hold your breath for this. This will take a while. But as we think about the Maker Pen, something that we like to think about with Rec Room is that we don't necessarily think about it as digital stuff. We think about it as physical stuff. So, like, I'm going to put the mic down for a second.
So, when you, that was why we did this, you can kind of draw anything, but then once you grab it, it's now a physical object. It should have physics and things. I don't know why it's not behaving.
It's got the other pieces stuck to it.
Yeah. Okay, so
we swear we make this game.
Yeah, so our attitude is to build things and then they become physical. So something that we're going to experiment with. I don't promise that we'll do this, but going back to go-karts is like with the squares and the ability to make kind of much more arranged shapes. We're also going to experiment with the notion of you can press a button that is like, I'm going to create a motor. And I'm going to create a motor, and I'm going to stick it on, and then you can...
You shouldn't have told us this, Scribbly.
Wait, so this is going to be with the pen?
No. So like I said, don't hold your breath for that one. I'm just kind of giving you a sense of how we're thinking. Down the road, rather than, no pun intended, down the road, maybe rather than us building go-karts, maybe you can build go-karts.
Yeah.
Wait, so you're gonna make
on your ideas.
Wait, so you're making the pen, so you're making the new pen so you can slack off.
Exactly. You got it.
Your jobs now.
Yeah. Who's got the microphone?
Me.
No more updates.
Thank you. Yeah. Yes, you've cracked the code. The reason we do everything is so that we can be more lazy. Exactly right.
Hey, you're just
all right.
You've gone green. That's all.
Yeah. All right. What else can we talk about in the Maker Pen sandbox mode?
Really,
custom rooms. Who's made and published a custom room?
Me.
All right, a few people. All right, give us some feedback on that experience. What do we need to... I know, Zhongyi, you gave us some feedback that you want to be able to restrict invites to only the hosts. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's exactly... Yeah.
Okay. All right. Easy. So I think we'll do that one. That'll basically be a host option. Is restrict invites to hosts only. Give us some more feedback on custom rooms. What was your experience like? What could we make better?
Stop.
Well, what I was going to say is that,
You're gonna get kicked.
So something that I found was that I think a more in-depth option menu for the host would be very useful. Like the ability to let people use maybe certain parts of the sandbox machine or the sandbox machine in general without being a host. I think would be really nice. Stuff like that, just more in-depth options.
Yeah, I don't think B-Boz is here today, but I know he's been thinking through some ideas of maybe we have a host who is like the creator, and then we can have like sort of a member role where it's like someone who could use the sandbox machine but maybe can't delete certain things or maybe can't publish or unpublish the room and stuff like that. Okay, yeah, I think we'll go down that road. Yeah, Seachil, what you got?
I'd like to see it possible so that if the host leaves, they can appoint somebody else that's already a host to be main host. Because at this point, it's like if he's host and he makes me host, and then he leaves, and somebody new comes, they can't use the sandbox machine because I can't appoint them.
Oh, you can't? I thought you could. All right, I will check into that. But yes, really, is that okay? All right, I got to check that. But yes, yes, we got to fix that. So yeah, the idea is, well, this kind of goes into, and we can talk about this in a second. Let's get through some custom room feedback first. But I want to talk a little bit about making things persistent in Rec Room, which is a whole other interesting topic we got to talk about. But Ali V, you had your hand up.
Hello. Teleport cooldowns. We're in the park and we put in so that people can move, but it's a big park, I have to say.
Yeah.
So I think maybe that should be a
that's Alkmaar's fault. That's Alkmaar's fault. All right, so a slider for teleport cooldown would be helpful. Alkmaar, get on that. Yeah, thanks, Alkmaar.
All right, scale it down to.
That makes sense. All right, so.
25%?
Or make it a option where you can type in like a second delay or something. Like 5 seconds,
give us
or like
2 or 3
seconds,
different
or like 1
options.
second.
Yeah.
All right. Yep, that's an easy one. All right, so a couple more host settings. So I'm hearing we do invite only for hosts. We got to do teleport speed. We got to make sure that the host transfer works correctly. All right, who else? I can't see whose hand that is. Is that Big Stay?
I've noticed that in some things, while the host is grabbing out of the sandbox, someone else can clone it by grabbing it at the same time they do as it's moving towards their hand.
Okay, good bug. Yeah, we should fix that. All right.
We have that.
Thank you.
We have that.
Yeah. Hang on. I think Volts. I think you were first.
Say go-karts and the boxing game do come out, will we be able to spawn boxing gloves and go-karts from the sandbox?
Yeah, why not?
Now he's just saying yes to everything. This is sad.
He gave me an out. He said if they come out.
Give me that.
Please, thank you.
Please run amok.
Yeah. Oh God, Ray, you confiscating my microphone?
Oh boy, now I'm in trouble.
Somebody's got to.
All right, on level.
I found that if you make too big of a shape, that it just...
Hang on, whoa. Hang on, wait, 2 at a time. Let's do 11 Xephos first, and then you on level. Sorry.
Okay. I found that if you make too big of a shape with the 3D pen, it will make people have to crash.
Yeah, great point. And so let me just share with you that is exactly why we didn't ship the Maker Pen today. Is that we've been finding all different ways to crash the game with it, and so while we know some of you would have fun with that, we thought it was probably best not to have it quite so easy to crash the rooms. But yes, you're right. So we're working on that right now. That's exactly why we didn't ship today's update. All right, on Lottle, you had a question?
Have you noticed the glitch where the zero gravity thing, but it can just go flying and make a giant line of
this thing?
3D stuff? Yes. If it's...
I have not personally seen it. I've seen the zero G like we just saw, but I haven't seen it do that while it's emitting. That sounds kind of funny.
It is. I just made it. And it's zigzags too because it's swirling around. It's fun. It's a lot of fun.
Who programmed this thing? All right. Juju plays. Yeah.
Sorry, what?
Yeah.
Ow.
Yeah.
My face.
Yes.
I didn't hear.
Okay, yeah. Let's talk a little bit about how we're thinking about that. Because great point. We agree. So we're not 100% sure how to do it yet. Like I said, I think the next thing we'll do is respawn points, and that's going to cause us to kind of think through a bunch of things about how do you configure a respawn point. Like, how do you set it to Team Red or to Team Blue? How do you set the time between respawns and things like that? So that's going to get us to a bunch of stuff about how can you connect up a goal to a scoreboard. Like, another example would be how would you configure a goal so that it only triggers a score when you put a frisbee through it as opposed to anything else, right? Because right now the goals will trigger when anything goes through them. So we want to make it so that you can be like, it has to be this specific object or this specific type of object. So here's what we're kind of thinking. Like this is very speculative. I'm not promising that it's going to work this way. Oh.
You might want to see this.
You know we can all hear you, right?
Look, I'm right here.
Grown-ups are talking.
Oh, okay, all right. So something we're thinking is like maybe using, and this actually like Princess Fuzzy. I don't think she's here today, but she was talking about this on the Discord. She had an interesting idea of like maybe using like a wrench object that you would like press on a sandbox item, and that would bring up some options, and you could do stuff. That was a cool idea, but what we think we'll probably do maybe is we might put it into the Maker Pen, and so you can kind of have a button here, like I said, it's got that menu on it, and so you can like point the pen at something and then configure things like this. Kind of how we're thinking about it. Yeah, exactly, like a sonic screwdriver if you're a Doctor Who fan.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Maker Pen replace this?
Yeah. Say again?
Maker Pen replace the gun.
Yes, yeah. The Maker Pen replace gun. That's the other reason why we should.
Oh, no.
Well, so one thing. Well, so
Calm down.
Yeah, and everything. So basically, when you pick it up and just start using it, it behaves exactly the same. So it's like the basic operation is no different, but then once you open up the menu, there's some more complex options.
Nice.
Yeah. All right. I don't know how to pronounce your B19. Okay.
With the goals.
I think you nailed it.
Yeah, I think I nailed that.
N3B19.
Yeah. N cubed.
Yeah.
Sorry. What's your question?
He keeps trying to speak.
With the goals, would it be possible to like put the item into the goal and then it'll be only for that goal?
Yes.
That item.
Yeah, that's exactly how we were thinking. So imagine that's a goal, right? And then let's say I've got to be like, I only want this dodgeball to trigger that goal. So I think the way we would do it is like you use the pen and you go, let me configure this thing, put it in programming mode, and then you just grab that object and throw it through, and if this thing remembers that object, it goes, oh, okay, that's my object.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I didn't know that we were doing that.
What? Again?
Did anybody know we were doing that?
I'm just making all of this up.
It was on a need-to-know basis, apparently.
Right.
He likes to keep everything to himself.
No. The reason I'm sharing this is so that I can get feedback from you guys and understand if, like, does the stuff we're thinking about make
Is
sense?
someone recording this so we can play it back in 6 months?
Yes.
Oh, Aki's not here, so we don't have that our usual.
I was never here.
The nostalgia.
Sean,
All the way on the
my
right.
second hand is in
Okay.
here.
Oh, Natti-Lin.
Natty.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. I'm so tired.
Been holding your arm up too long?
So, maybe a possible bug and then a suggestion. I drew a volleyball yesterday, or a beach ball. I was very attached to it. My other hand's on the floor. I threw it up against the windows to, like, set up against it, and it got stuck on the ledge and then vanished. So what if the ledge was kind of transparent to one part so that if you threw items up there, it would just fall back down?
Was this in the rec center or?
It was in the
where
park.
were you?
Sorry.
In the park. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. We'll look
okay.
at that because speaking of things not being attached.
Which ledge was that?
Up against the windows in front of the fountain.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then as a host, it would be really cool if we were able to force freeze objects to stay in place so that other people couldn't move them or put them on the other side of the map.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Good idea. And kind of thinking the same way that you would configure a goal, we think you might be give you a lock option. So you can say, all right, we'll place these goals, we'll get everything set up the way we want, lock, so that they don't get knocked around or moved, by anyone. But yeah, great idea. All right, who else got a question? Balls in your goal.
Yeah, just about the persistence with the 3D pen.
Yeah.
Like after you draw a bunch of stuff, it runs out of ink.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if you can maybe add an option so that it starts recycling the old stuff or something.
Yeah. So we're kind of thinking about that. We're going to ship the Maker Pen, and it'll still run out of ink. It'll be kind of limited, and we kind of want to roll this into the bigger thinking about how do we make this stuff consistent, right? Because obviously, when you do a custom room right now, you could spend 2 hours setting it up the way you want, then you publish it. But then once you leave and everyone leaves and the room closes, all of that stuff is lost. And so what we want to do is figure out a way where you as the creator and host of that room can make that room persistent so that you could log off for the night, and then come back tomorrow, and everything's still set up the way you want it, and you can invite people back, and like those games can be persistent. That's what we're trying to get to. There's a lot of complications with that. So one of the big ones, so let me just I'd love to get a reaction on this one. Here's one of the most challenging aspects of that, is, as you know, we update Rec Room a lot, right? Typically, this week notwithstanding, generally every 2 weeks we do a pretty big update. So things that... So yeah, thanks Cloud, great job.
Pigeon's never gonna forgive you.
That's great.
Really why I'm here.
Pigeons never forget.
Is
So one of
that
the-
why his headset didn't break? T-Money didn't want us to know it was actually him, so he
That's right.
Cloud's headset.
That's right, yeah. He's going to take the shame. So yeah, one of the big challenges, we want to keep updating the game because we want to keep adding things. I think, hopefully you guys appreciate it that we add stuff to the game all the time. And so there's a challenge in that, all right, so if we say, all right, let's say Frogface, let's say you make some amazing game and then you save it. I know, unlikely as that seems.
Do you know
all right, bad example. So let's say Frogface makes an amazing game, and then saves it, right? So makes it persistent, so it can come back the next day. So then we update the game, and we want to make some kind of change, like we want to update the maker pen, or we want to update the way physics works, or something. There's a good chance that we're going to break Frogface's game, and so he's set it up to be persistent, but then comes back after an update, and the room is kind of messed up. So, what do you think we should do about that?
Make it so it doesn't break.
More turtles.
Make it so you can save the program on your computer, like you save pictures and stuff like that. You can save the log on your computer.
I think that's just part of early access, isn't it? You gotta just accept some stuff not working. You can't just expect it to all flawlessly work together.
Right.
I mean, templates would be nice.
Progress.
Say again?
Templates, kind of like in Steam Home.
Right. Right. Okay, yeah. So I think probably the way it'll end up working is a mixture of tools. Like we're obviously going to try and make it as break-proof as possible. As break-proof as possible. But there'll probably need to be an understanding that every so often there's going to need to be some active maintenance of your persistent rooms, because every so often something's going to change and we may not be able to persist something, so you'll need to go back and recreate something. And that, as Frogface puts it, is kind of just part of being in early access. And so hopefully we can hit the right balance, because it's going to be super frustrating if things break every second day. But hopefully, a little bit of touch-up work here and there is not going to be so bad. All right, Jacob, is that you?
Yeah.
His hand is falling off.
I think both of them.
Are you going to make a featured event about Punch-Out, or can you talk a little bit about it right now?
Punch-Out's copyrighted.
We're going to make it so that you can make fun.
Perfect.
Well, I'm just going to do this. Come on. I can't do this. I'm too lazy.
I can't handle this.
Imagine Alkmaar face palming in real life.
All right, Burrito Burger, what you got?
It's like, I can't. All right. Oh God, my batteries are very low. It's like, the player goals. The player goals.
Yeah.
Can you make them it's like people can't spam them, just they say go over and over.
Oh yeah,
that's one of the worst things.
No, that's some cooldown time, so it doesn't just go go. All right.
Yeah,
okay.
That's very annoying.
Set up two next to each other. They reverberate.
Flag dropped.
That's so fun.
Maybe you just have friends that don't do that.
Like it just go once and it disappears forever.
Yeah. All right, Burrito Burger, what if you get some cool friends? How about that?
Yeah.
Actually, I think the cooldowns work quite well.
I'm kidding.
Stony silence.
His batteries are too low to be upset by that.
My batteries
okay.
keep going.
All right, C-Chill, what you got?
I'm spamming like crazy.
Just a suggestion, but all this talk about the marker pen, I was wondering if there's any way we could take the boxing dummy that's in the rec center, move it into the lobby, and then use it to make a costume for all.
Ooh,
Oh,
I don't know. Yeah. Actually, you know, I've never tried sticking maker pen extrusions to the dummy. We got to try that. Has anyone tried
No,
that?
they're all gonna go try to do that right now, right?
Well, I don't think you can because you can't.
room.
Yeah, you can't get a maker pen in the rec center.
No.
All right, we got to think about that one.
Make a pen in the game
I've
at all.
already made. I've already made too many. I've already made too many wild predictions in this Q&A already. I gotta calm
I
myself down.
like it. It's optimistic.
All right. Extaban, did you have a question?
Oh no, I didn't. Sorry.
Okay. Just gesturing. Volts.
Yes. Right, I have 2 questions, and one of them's from Mama Monkey. So,
Oh gosh, Mama Monkey.
yeah.
She posted like 7 questions on Discord.
Does she want a new colored
She
dress?
posted like 10 questions. I'll just pick one out of them. 1 second.
Okay.
Everyone gets it in front of her.
Okay. Do you eat Vegemite?
Me? No.
You, of course.
He makes it. He doesn't need it. He makes
No.
it.
I don't consider that a food.
Right.
That's why I got kicked out of Australia.
Okay, but in the host options, can you make
my gosh,
it so
gun
only the host can
safety.
pick people?
That is
That's a
how
lot
it
of
works.
pressure.
That is,
it?
yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess the regular vote kick system is in effect, but hosts can kick people directly. Alkmaar, would you like to demonstrate?
Make it an option.
I'm kidding.
Technically already have twice, so.
Alright, I'm kidding.
Hi down here.
Yeah, you're lucky you're still here, pigeons.
I
can't.
You want to be
I think the only reason I am is I didn't
Can I not
copy
be
you this
kicked?
time
'Cause,
on
like,
the
I'm
word.
Fonzie, are you on the Discord or the Reddit?
It's like, don't.
Okay, yeah, I would
Well, the AFK
chat
thing
with
is
Sean about
frustrating.
this. PM Sean and have a chat with him about that stuff. Okay. Who else got a question? Pigsty, you can on?
I just forgot what I was gonna say. Never mind.
Okay, perfect.
Perfect.
Otto,
had a question for a while.
So.
Oh, okay.
Is that new?
I just have a battery in my
that
mouth
you're
right
the
now.
secret one? 2 things. Is
I'm
it
not
community
serious.
suggested, like
Changing
something
my
we've
batteries.
talked
Is it
about a
go-kart?
lot, like asked for? And also,
Is it boxing?
Also, is it coming out soon?
Oh god.
Okay, so I would say definitely elements of it are community suggested. I think there are going to be elements of it where it's like, oh, I see, you know. I don't think go-karts are coming out in 2017. No, maybe 2018. But our intent is to ship this new game before the end of the year. That's our intent.
Nice. Okay.
Cool.
January 1st, there's going to be a Rito.
Do we get to have some dance?
All right, love to dance.
Just kidding.
Yes.
We love you.
Can you have a
I'm just
plug-in
kidding.
to stream
I'm sorry.
music so we can dance?
Yes, you
Disco
can try.
like Zumba.
So we had our first dance party here the other night. It was a very test dance party. We had a DJ in the office right here where
I
I'm
was
standing.
here.
Oh, yeah, there you go. So yeah, it was kind of crappy to be honest, but it was just us experimenting.
Okay.
But yeah, but we had fun. I think everyone enjoyed dancing. We'd like to make that cooler and support music a bit
What were
better.
they
Yes.
talking about?
All right. Who hasn't asked a question yet? Who hasn't asked a question? Where? Oh, Jacob. Okay.
No, I just wanted to raise my hand because you said if you didn't ask a question yet.
Okay.
I asked a question before. These maker blocks, could they perhaps be used like Legos to build forts?
And she keeps on responding me, and it's
Yeah.
annoying me.
So at first, the scale of it is a bit unknown. We're actually not sure how many of them you're going to be able to support in the room. But yes, that is definitely on the roadmap. Is like being able to kind of create an environment that you want to like play in.
Sweet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Stop
Okay.
doing that.
Who else has got a question? Ali Fee.
More furniture in the sandbox machine.
Okay. More furniture in the sandbox machine.
That is a good idea.
Okay. But people have got very creative with those chairs.
Yeah.
Yeah. The stairway to heaven.
We just are gonna rename the button chair, and then we're good.
Yeah. All right. Kushali.
One bar.
Where's the other?
Oh, I can't hear you at all.
Breeze.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I need a hearing aid? Or
Right,
can
right,
I
like
just,
a beginner pen as well as.
No.
Yeah. So all right. So the question was like.
Yeah, Gribbly,
Yeah,
repeat it in the middle.
Yeah, I will. So the concern is that, like, if we put in all these buttons on the new Maker Pen, maybe it's going to be too confusing for some people to use. That is definitely a concern. So I think we're going to do it anyway, and just see how it. No, sorry. Wait. I didn't. That sounded worse than I meant.
We don't
Hey, that's a good. Look, this is. Look, the reason we get this, the reason we have these Q&As, the reason that we collect your feedback is so that we can ignore it. It wouldn't be fun otherwise. No, I'm kidding. No. So that is a good concern. But I think what we'll do is we'll ship it. We'll see how big of a problem it is, and if it is a problem, then we'll ignore it. All right, Caroline.
Don't lie, is Gribbly drinking tonight?
We can't hear you, realize.
Why did
you We can't hear you.
I can hear you. I can hear you.
I can hear you.
I can't hear him.
Repeat the question.
Boom, I'm you now.
Almost.
Yes!
Your face is
I
going
got
through
one
it.
of my controllers with the battery
Is
in
that
it.
intended, by the way, to like, because the audio's cutting off for us if it's on that half the stage?
I can't hear
Oh,
him.
yeah, there you
Now?
go. That's better.
Yay,
I
I'm
can't hear
you.
it now.
We are not planning to do that, but like
I don't know if that's totally intended
we want
or
to.
not.
Hopefully, with the Maker Pen, people will be able to create events like that.
It's because they're too far away.
Pull off would be intended.
Salamander.
Cut off is not.
So this one's kind of
Right.
I just remembered right now. So as more and more quests get created, and
But I can hear him.
Rid of them, that's going to start taking up a lot of room in the rec center. But apart from that, about keeping them accessible
again.
Yeah.
As there are more and more, one of the things I was thinking of is people are going to start getting spread out between quests. Do you think that's what's going to happen, or how do you plan on dealing with that?
So we keep an eye on that. We've actually done a ton of investments behind the scenes. Can everyone still hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We put a bunch of work into our matchmaking systems in the back end so that we can do much more sophisticated matchmaking, make sure people find games. We designed the rec center also to basically be expandable in terms of doors, because we find a lot of people go to activities via the doors. That's how a lot of people find them. So yeah, every time we add a new quest, we'll add a new door in the rec center. And so far it hasn't been a problem getting people too spread out. If it ever does, I don't know. I'm actually not sure how we would handle that, but it's a good thing to think about.
I have one more.
Okay, sure.
For Alkmaar. Alkmaar, can you hear me?
I can.
When do we get more hair colors?
Oh, actually, that's
good
almost
more of a Cloud question
One more.
since
We go gray.
he's
our
buff.
buff.
But yeah,
We've been wanting to add more hair colors a lot. I mean, for quite a while. So, yeah, it's trying to get him used to having fun, and it's quite the process.
That's actually Cloud now.
It's actually Alkmaar's fault.
Oh, okay.
All right, the blame game. You heard it here first. So we did add some hair colors not so long ago. We and just a couple of subtle ones. But yeah, like Cloud, do you have anything more to say about that other than that's it? No? Yeah, sure. Yeah. So what kind of hair colors are you looking for?
You have to tell me.
Yeah,
There's 16
Fun
colors on
colors,
the Maker
yeah.
Pen.
Non-realistic.
Red, yellow, pink, rainbow, orange, blue.
Yeah.
How about hairstyle?
So is it like solid colors or like dyed parts of the hair?
Ombre.
As well. Yeah,
Don't ask them that. One of those is a lot harder.
The highlight patterns.
Yeah, and RGB.
Alkmaar, you're just getting thrown under the bus tonight. Hey, Harrison.
We want wavy hair next.
You're like, don't give them that idea. Oh my gosh.
Seriously.
Yeah.
God.
They were gonna be happy with some
Yeah,
hair
foresee more
colors.
colors
Now
in
you
the
do
future.
this to me.
So
I think they're all drunk.
don't worry about that. There'll be more coming up.
Maybe they're
we
all
can promise
sober, and
anything in
that's
this
the
Q&A,
problem.
right? So I can just
Maybe
yeah,
they're
like
sober and you're drunk.
all kinds of avatar outfits, just all the hairstyles, all the hair colors. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. Yeah.
Oh, jeez. This is not going
all
well.
right, Gerby7 or Gerbil.
So I don't know if you played any of the Crisis games, but when you said like adding watch menu to items, my brain just immediately went to like the Predator bow from Crisis 3, where you could pick out like firing modes and like switch your arrow type and
right.
stuff.
Yeah, not unlike that.
It's totally cool for maybe like Quest or something, right?
Right. Yeah. Pretty fun idea. So we were pretty happy when we experimented with it, and it worked really well. So I can imagine it turning up in other places too. All right. Who has not asked a question? Who has not asked a question? Oh, Mr. Rebut. Mr. Rebut.
Be able to save avatars, so you can switch between them.
Got spawned off the stage.
Oh yeah, that's a request that's come up a few times. So I would say definitely at some point. I think we're going to focus on things like the Maker Pen and Sandbox mode and creating your own activities first. And so maybe like later next year we might kind of get to saved costumes and things. Definitely on the roadmap, but not a super high priority.
Fair enough. Okay.
Not that we don't like the idea. We do like that idea. Evildoer,
That's
what you
what I
got?
was gonna ask too. Yeah.
God.
Yeah, actually, so you can currently teleport onto anything that the Maker Pen emits. We're not 100% sure if that's a good idea or not, but we're going to find out.
So I could make a tree fort, is what you're saying.
Yeah, you can make building blocks.
That's a good idea.
Was that you saying something to me? Okay. All right.
House.
Jacob, what you got?
Wait, what?
Oh my god.
So, not yet. So we do have the exploding paint bombs in paintball that you're probably familiar with. Something that we've been talking about, and like this would be a great thing to get
Repeat the question.
So the question was, could you make an exploding something using the Maker Pen? Yeah, could you make it with a detonator? Right. So, all right. So this is something that we would love to have a discussion about this on Reddit and on the Discord, because we're not 100% sure how this should work, but definitely adding some kind of ability to trigger things is on the cards. I don't know how it's going to work. I've got some design sketches done where you've got like radio control, like a little puck that you can stick to something, and then you can like trigger it with a button from somewhere else, and that'll like, one idea we had was like maybe having like a linear motor that can fling things, and then you could sort of make any kind of a weapon. Like you can kind of make something, put the linear flinger on it, put something in it, and then trigger that, and it'll fling it. I don't know. This is all very speculative, but let's talk about it on Reddit, Discord.
Having bombs in the game could be bad though. That could like trigger some people.
It could.
There could be ways to make it look a bit like religious, should I say?
Well, so there'll be exploding paint bombs, and so the way we think about anything like that is like that's what custom rooms are for. People want to make any kind of stuff they want to make, put it in a custom room.
So they can make a room called Nazi Wars.
No, because that would violate our code of conduct.
Okay.
Not again.
That's the first note we've heard from you verbally tonight.
Oh, now you're gonna call on me. Whoops, I didn't say that.
That's very
All
understandable.
right, who has not asked a question yet?
I have
That has a question.
Both my questions got answered already, so.
Okay, so since you guys have everything teleported on your little watch menu with the creator pen, why don't you have an option so when you're drawing something you just turn it off while you're drawing it?
Say again, I wasn't sure I understood that.
When you're drawing something on the little watch menu for the creator pen, why don't you have an option to turn off teleportation on it? So since you guys have everything.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. It would kind of go along with what I was saying about configuring goals. You could have like in the configuration for that thing you built, whether it's teleportable or not. It's a good idea.
Hold on.
Gearhart, what you got?
No, I couldn't.
Oh, hey, Gearhart.
It wouldn't let me. To raise your hand, but I couldn't let you.
Gearhart, are you talking to us right now? Is your mic on?
I tried.
Probably muted.
Is there a kid in your arcade again, Gearhart?
Okay, while we're waiting, Natti-Lin I think has another.
Oh, there we go. He's back.
I see you. Don't worry.
Thanks.
I don't know how feasible this would be, and I don't know how much work you'd even want to put into it. But what about Google Blocks integration with the new Maker Pen?
Yes.
Yeah, not currently planned. Not currently planned. I like Google Blocks. It's fun to play with, but yeah.
Yeah, no.
Okay, all right. I just figured I'd ask.
Yeah, tonight if it's a no, it's definitely a no.
All right, who is
You're right,
Olio?
Gribbly.
Hang on, let's do Olio, then we'll go over to the right.
Okay.
Oh, you're handing off to Jacob? Is that what this is about? No, all right. I'm going over here. What do we got over here?
I have a question. Natti-Lin
Burrito
had a
program.
question.
I just thought of something. What about what about these built like the Maker Pen? You can just put like blocks and make like a house.
Yeah, it's kind of like the thought question. So here's what I can say to that. The question was about like maybe making houses with the Maker Pen. We're gonna start with the Maker Pen. Really is best for making objects, but we definitely have thoughts for like how to make bigger things.
I just remembered what I was actually gonna ask.
Okay, all right. That's good.
It was can you try and make your self smaller, like make your character smaller and just walk around without people, but your name tags are the name, the same thing.
You mean just generally, just anytime?
Yeah, you can just go on your watch, go to settings.
Ant-Man mode.
Go to audio.
That would raise problems in things
make
like
your
paintball,
make your character smaller or bigger, but that actually decreases your field of view. That actually makes you smaller, and it's gonna be harder to walk.
Kind of good as an item in Sandbox.
Okay, I'm gonna make that. You get a firm maybe on that one.
Yeah.
Well, I think for that one we'd want to understand a little better about why you'd want to do that. So never say never, but that's not. Yeah, not currently
It's okay
planned.
to be itty bitty.
Was there more questions over here, Natti-Lin? Did you have a question?
Yeah, so I noticed yesterday if you have the bucket and you put an item in the bucket, you can't teleport and carry the items within the bucket. You only carry the bucket you're holding.
Yeah.
It would be great to have that big the ball carrier thing that's out there. To be able to carry things all the way across to the other side of the park.
Yeah, so the question was, why when you put something in a bucket or in the laundry hamper thing in the rec center, then you teleport with it, it tends to leave behind the things that are in the bucket. And that's just because we haven't really, we just haven't programmed it properly, really. We should, at some point we got to go fix that, but we just never get around to it. But it should work that way, you're right. All right, how are we doing on time? We got about 5-10 minutes. So let's talk a little bit more. Who else has got a question? Jacob, you're bouncing up and down. So what you get?
Quick one. With the stream cam.
Okay. Yes, love to dance. You go first.
Thanks. With the stream cam, I was trying to stream to see the other players in the game, but you can't stream during the game, right?
You can. I think you can. Yeah, you can stream
streaming right now.
Game, for example.
Yeah, but can you see the other players stream in the mixer?
No, I don't think you can see enemies in paintball.
Can't.
I honestly can't remember. The question was, can you see other paintball players? And does anyone know other than Cloud? I don't trust him.
You cannot.
Okay.
I know you cannot, but I saw that you can in.
Yeah. So all right. So I think this is something I haven't checked on in a long time. But yeah, I think I think we deliberately shut them off during gameplay so that you can't cheat.
That's right.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
All right. Olio.
Oh, it's not right there. Where is it? Crap. Oh, I got it. Cheers.
Yeah.
What I miss?
So
Drop the contact or something?
Never say never.
No,
we might. That it's not high on our list of priorities. We really want to focus more on the experience inside a rec room. Yeah. Jacob, do you have something? Or
just to riff on that real quick.
Actually.
We're hoping the Maker Pen can bridge a lot of that. So the things that you make, you can kind of make a lot of the things that you could be like a rough approximation of an OBJ. It wouldn't be like an exact mesh, but we're hoping that it'd be more in the Rec Room style, something that you can save and use later on in Rec Room, kind of maybe pull it out whenever you want.
The sport.
Right. Yeah, we definitely want to be able to do that, but the goal is that you can do it inside a rec room. So the question was, would we import OBJ or other format models from external programs? Not currently planned. Who else got? Right, Jacob, I think. Oh, who was? Oh,
No,
hey.
other Jacob.
The question was, can you say hi? Lala, do you have a question?
I'm getting that.
All right.
I don't think your mic's on, Lala.
We can't hear you. Is your mic on? Oh, maybe.
I was talking to her earlier.
I'll come back to Lala in a second. All right.
Jacob has been waiting patiently behind you.
This Jacob? Okay, yes, Jacob.
Okay, I know this probably might not happen, but maybe in like a quest or something, you could add in like an item that you can get in the quest. It's like a backpack, so you can hold weapons that you're not going to use. And maybe in another quest or something, like gears can give you like a special or small buffs.
Like the potions, but more.
Yeah, like say I'm wearing the wizard set. If I'm wearing it and I have the wand, I can shoot a little bit faster.
Oh, I see. Okay, so related to having like the full outfit, you get a little bit of a buff. Okay, I'll suggest that to B-Boss. That's his department, but I'll suggest that to him. It's a good thought.
Do it.
All right, I'll repeat it to him in that threatening tone. All right, Bolton C, what you got?
There's one thing that I've been wanting for like quite a while is close what's it called, physics. So like say
like cloth physics.
Yeah. So say it's just stuck in place, so it kind of looks.
Cloud, would you like to handle this one?
Yeah, go ahead.
Elmar has really strong
All right,
hairspray.
physics.
So hair physics.
Yeah, flowing capes and.
Yes.
Yeah, I want that too.
all
Just
in real
really
time.
lazy.
Oh man, this is like the cheekiest Q&A we've had.
I'm loving the
just
transparency. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, just to expand on that a little bit. So something that we do quite a lot is our intention is for Rec Room to be very cross-platform. And so we want to try and appear on all of the platforms we can. So yeah, I guess everyone heard that we're coming out on PSVR. We just announced that this week.
Yeah, congrats
so
on that.
That's going to be
Congratulations,
thank you.
guys.
And that's going to be a big influx of people. So definitely request the community, be welcoming, be excellent to the new players. Show them the ropes, show them how to be cool people in Rec Room, teach them about all the various systems. Yeah, so we're really excited about that. I think it's going to be really fun. I've actually played Rec Room on the... But we're doing what's called a soft launch of the PSVR version. So we're actually hoping that in 2 weeks' time we'll have our first PSVR players starting to cross-play, and then as we kind of squeeze out the bugs, because there's going to be all kinds of problems, and then we'll be rolling it out to more and more PSVR players, and we hope that by the end of the year it'll be completely released. We have some other platforms in the works, so hopefully got some more exciting announcements coming.
The first PSVR players will be on the test server, though, Gribbly, so they won't be...
Oh, good point. Yeah. Okay, sorry.
Playing amongst themselves.
Say again?
Oh, those poor lost souls. They're just going to be fumbling around in the dark.
I kill pigeons.
No, so we go after platforms where you've got high-quality hand tracking is kind of a requirement for us.
Like grab your character, go face down, you can do push-ups.
Controllers for the hands. Will you ever have an idea of releasing Rec Room to phones?
We would certainly look at it for sure. Like as soon as a platform supports good quality hand tracking, we're interested in being on it. Now, there might be some platforms like there might be some phones that we just can't optimize the game enough to get onto a phone. But if we could, we would. All right, who we got over here? Juju, please.
Okay, so I wanted to talk about the dorm rooms that we have when we come into the game.
Oh yeah. Perfect.
So
finish. No improvements possible.
Yeah, I want to just make a few suggestions that maybe you can expand it a little bit more, make it more like something that you can invite your friends into, so you can hang out there.
Yeah, so let's talk about that a little bit. So the question was about the dorm rooms. Maybe you could make it so your friends could hang out. Maybe you could customize it and extend it a little bit. So we're kind of thinking about all that in the context of custom rooms and persistence, because we feel like if we can give you a custom room where you can persist the stuff in your customizations, then really all we have to do is allow you to spawn into that room by default, and that becomes a custom dorm room. And if you can share it with a pre-approved list of other players, that becomes like a shared clubhouse. And so I don't have a timeline for when we might do that, but we're trying to think about it systemically. So rather than just implement a custom dorm room, we want to implement a custom room solution, and then you can have custom anything. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And the timeline on this is like, you know, we're looking at this right now. We're pushing on it as hard as we can. So you know, it's going to take us a while to get there, but it's not like years. It's more like, you know, months maybe.
Yes, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's more like
I don't need
centuries.
to add anything to the dorm room now. I don't need to add anything to the dorm room. So since the paint gun is getting replaced by the thing, and since you said that you might be able to save the things, log off, and come back to it, say that we add stuff to our dorm room with the maker pen, we can log out, and then we can come back to the dorm room, and it'll all still be there. So we have a customized dorm room for ourselves already.
I thought you were going to yell at Cloud for a second. I was like, wow, what are you
All right,
Yeah, you discussed bringing in PSVR players. PSVR's got a bad habit of not playing well with other people. Once the beta's over, are they going to disappear from our friends list, or are they going to be able to hang around?
They're going to be able to hang around. They'll come in, they'll create a Rec Room account like everybody, and they're just going to come and be players. And if they're not cool, we'll report them, and, you know. But no, I think
it's going to stay cross-platform no matter what.
Correct, yeah. Our philosophy is all platforms play together. Everyone all around the world plays together. That's kind of the default state. And if you want to play with specific people, that's what friends lists and custom rooms are for. All right, Junior Goth.
Okay, this has probably been read before, but I'd like to see a more extensive messages system because it's really, really inconvenient when you're trying to group up with people.
Yes.
Without having like some sort of like voice chat or some sort of like voicemail or something.
Okay, so this is so the question was about could we have better messaging so it's easier to kind of coordinate with people across the app. We totally agree with this. That's a big part of the reason why we have a web developer position open right now on our website, againstgrab.com. If you are or you know anyone who's an awesome web developer who could be in Seattle and work in our office, get in touch with us. Send us a resume, send us a portfolio, we'll talk to you. But yes, a big part of the reason why we're hiring for that role is to enable better messaging and stuff like that.
I'm 13. Can I come work in the office?
I have a question. What do you guys find is the most useful way to bring a new friend into Rec Room?
Send them an invite.
Does anyone use room codes for that? Like, hey, meet me in room code whatever? Or like, how do you guys meet up with a new friend in Rec Room?
Straight up, I ask them for their name and invite them.
I look up their name on the computer.
Search and then invite.
In real life.
Yeah.
Oculus parties.
5 minutes away.
Yeah, either from like Oculus.
You go to another game and tell them about.
No, that's assuming it's a brand new person that's never played Rec Room.
So one thing that is planned on this stuff, and that I'm pretty sure we're going to do, like, you know, again, you can yell at me if we don't end up doing it. We're going to move the search function into the watch so that you don't have to be in the dorm room to search for people.
Oh, nice.
Because ever since we did custom rooms, if you've ever published a custom room, you've noticed that the watch can actually detach and kind of turn into a laptop with a keyboard. And so we did that as an experiment because we weren't sure if that was going to be usable or cool or not. But now that it works, we're like, oh, okay, now we can just let you search for people. You know, we could do a basic messaging thing where you got to type on that keyboard. Not sure yet, but you know.
Please do. Even like if it's just a placeholder, it would be so much better than the current system. Because I feel so bad getting an invite and hitting deny because I feel like an ass. But you know, maybe I'm busy or something. I want to give them a reason.
Quick replies.
Okay.
Yeah.
Even if you just say busy, not right now.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
That's
Good
good,
feedback.
yeah.
Good feedback. I like that. All right. Pigsty.
Speaking of messages, I was thinking, so like people could have the number on their player name, and in the dorm room have a phone or something, so you wouldn't have to use that message string or something, so you could call them if they're online or something.
I like voice chat with them on the phone.
Basically.
You know what I mean? Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, it's a fun idea.
Kind of cool.
It's a fun idea.
Like a rotary phone.
That's a great idea.
Take you like 10 minutes to call
Even
them.
better.
Should I admit to having used one of those in my youth, or does it matter?
All right, so we're actually a little.
On to filming.
Yeah, well, Terrence, T-Money already did that. So we actually he got what he needed. We did the big group photo already.
Yep.
So let's, I think let's wrap it up there. So
Pigeons
again,
had a question right at the end.
I have, well,
all right, let's do one more question with I Kill Pigeons, and then we're gonna wrap it up.
real quick, what are the chances, because this
I
has
want to see
been
myself.
asked before with no response, of getting RPG dice? You know, D20s, D4s,
Oh, yeah.
D8s,
Yeah.
D12s, D10s.
Okay, so I think this got asked to me, and I was like, yeah, absolutely, we'll do that, and then we forgot about it. So,
Okay.
So yeah,
so it's
keep,
something you're unwilling to do?
we're totally willing to do it. Yeah, DM us. That one should be pretty easy. It's just a matter of us remembering because we get busy.
So keep pestering you.
All right,
is what
so
I'm hearing.
yeah, exactly. Yes, please. No, honestly.
Games.
That's why he drinks.
So yeah, all right. So we're gonna wrap it up there. Thank you everyone for coming. Again, I'm sorry I couldn't show you the actual maker pen today. That was the plan. But you know, thank you for being patient with us, and we love you all.
Thanks for all the work you guys do. You're amazing.
Please be excellent to each other, and we hope you see you at the next QA. Otherwise, we'll see you out in Rec Room. Have fun.
Awesome.
Thanks,
Have a good
everybody.
night.
Thanks. Bye all.
Thanks, guys.
Hey, I'm streaming, so let me go back to my dorm room and do my end scene, and then I'll come back.
Yeah.
There it is.
Thanks to everybody who's been submitting reports too recently for the moderation system. I just looked through a lot of those in the last 2 days and took a lot of bans and disciplinary actions. So hopefully you see messages in your watch that say, "Hey, thanks for leaving us a report." Like, has anyone seen one of those messages that says like, "Hey, thanks for leaving a report"?
Yeah, I got one.
Yeah, that's kind of nice. That,
That was actually from one of the Q&As.
Great.
Just a question about that. Can you guys actually review it when you get a report, like see what they said, see what they did, stuff like that?
I don't want to go into too much detail, but let's just say the reports are very useful. So please keep doing them.
Yes.
We can tell if they are not good reports, so if somebody's making a lot of, frivolous or bad reports, that kind of shows up too. So,
okay.
Yeah, the system's pretty in-depth.
Sean, really quick, this isn't so much directly related to in-game, but I'm assuming you're in charge, or you should
Down with the peons.
In the Discord, I can't, or rather, I don't think it's possible to send pictures anymore for a default user, even in channels like the fan art. I thought I'd let you know.
Hey,
yeah, send me
question, by the way,
direct message and I'll look at
Not
those.
that I
things.
Sure, let's move away from the stage.
Yeah.
Anybody else have any
Stage.
questions?
If you don't have a question, move away from the stage.
Oh, I am working. I'm at work.
Oh, what's up, Natty?
Hey, how about separating like the kick and ban system to because we were talking the other day about people wanting to play quests with their friends, and then someone will accidentally join and they get vote kicked out and banned for a couple minutes. With custom rooms becoming a thing, do you think maybe there will be like 2 different options, whether to kick them out the room or like just report them for abusive behavior or whatever?
There isn't at the moment.
Yeah, so you want essentially an option to report but not start a vote kick?
Yeah, just like a chance to kick them out of the room and not ban them. So like if you, me, Cloud, and someone else were grouping up and then Volts accidentally walked in, we would want to kick Volts out to let somebody else come in.
Yeah.
But not ban
this
them.
is assuming you're like, hey, we need room for another person, and they don't leave.
Yeah.
That's the best thing to do in that scenario when you want to kick someone but not like really punish them or have much, damage or whatever. It's just kick them for AFK. It's kind of a weird way to use AFK because they aren't actually AFK, but that one just sends you back to your dorm room and does no timeout, no real punishment.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
I was expecting a lot more too.
What's that?
Alkmaar just said it does give you a punishment.
Yeah, it sends you back to your dorm room, but there's no punishment, I don't believe, in terms of like a timeout.
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Cool.
Wait, is there going to be any tests coming up soon?
Why do you say AFK?
Like go
do you guys not see the AFK option?
I don't think
it's there. It's there. Yeah, it's away.
Oh, away? Is that what I mean?
Oh, that's new. I didn't see that before.
It's been there for like a month or 2 weeks now.
Oh, I haven't been on in like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, you seem to only show up during Q&As.
Yeah,
Do you guys think we should change that to AFK or just the name?
Oh wait,
Maybe
oh
it's
wait,
like
makes the point. Oh wait, makes the
Because
point.
sometimes there's players that they just are standing there and they are like in the bathroom or something, but the game is going on. Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
Guys.
Oh my
Yeah.
god. Oh my god.
Yeah, definitely is a way for that.
And that'd be neat.
I actually have a thing that's like, I don't want to say what it is, but it's basically it crashes the game entirely. Like it hard resets the crash for everyone except for the person who does it.
Oh, really? It doesn't crash you when you do it?
Yeah, like I do it, like we were experimenting with a friend, and it crashed, like I did it, it crashed him, like it hard reset his like computer at one point.
Okay.
And then he did
message
it.
me on Discord what it is so we can try to patch it.
Alright, I mean I can show you. I kind of have to show you what it is because like
I wouldn't show anybody because then everyone will
not
start
here.
doing
I'm not gonna show it here. I'll show you or someone or a developer.
Okay.
But like, I kind of don't want it to happen because like if someone does it, like we did it in the rec center, it works too. Like we were just both of us, it works too. And pretty much anywhere you can do it, and it only crashes anyone else but you. So like it can be pretty bad for
Interesting.
people.
Yeah, we patched the frisbee pressing one. So that one shouldn't crash people anymore. But there's probably a few other like combinations of objects like that. So just message me on Discord, and I can either hop in with you and you can show me, or if you know how to take videos, you can send me a video or a screenshot or something.
It takes a little bit, but yeah, I can show you. I'll message you though.
Thanks a lot. Go ahead, Volts.
Is there any tests coming up on the RLTS Discord?
I think the next test will probably just be PlayStation VR stuff.
I don't play people very often.
Man, no go-karts?
No, dude, go-karts are not happening anytime soon.
I think that's just a joke.
And sometimes he's dressed like me.
No, it's not a joke. We did test it.
Yeah, we had a go-kart prototype like, I don't know, a year ago or something. They did a test.
I'd rather
and
be
it made it-
sick and play go-karts and
How was
not be sick and not have go-karts, to be honest.
I'm sure there are go-kart games in VR somewhere you can download.
They cost money, though.
So you just want us to make you a free one. I see. Yeah, you guys.
My
you guys have
microphone
any
is
questions?
big.
Yay.
Okay, so I'm having some issues with the boxes. So if it is not a quest, I keep getting all of the old boxes, all of the old clothes, like always the same group of clothes. And no matter how much I play, I always get the same group of clothes. I don't get any of the new stuff or at all.
And it's not just because you've unlocked everything. You just are like.
Yeah, I do all of the weeklies, I will do all of the dailies, and I get the weeklies, but I don't get, and the dailies are always like the same dress, which is the, which is the one that is like with a bow, and it's only two colors. I always get that, and I don't get anything else. So I don't get any of the new stuff.
I want to expand on that. Like, I want it to be like, if you're already level 30, because like after you're level 30, it doesn't really matter if you're like, for leveling up. Like I was thinking, if you complete the challenges, daily challenges, if you're already level 30, you get more of a higher chance of getting like higher ranking stuff.
Yeah.
Because like I always do the daily challenges, and it's like, oh, you get a 1 star, you get a 2 star. It's like it just gets competitive, and like it makes me not want to do the daily challenges anymore. So like if there was like a chance that I get like a better starred box when I complete the daily challenges, that would be really cool.
At least until they run out, because we I don't know. I've never seen any of these things.
Can I ask about
the stuff that people have around?
Yeah,
I
give me
only
a
get like
second.
1-star stuff. I don't get not even 2
What do you
stars.
guys think of this idea? What if you could get that same loot, but we had sort of an item recycling system where you could feed that in and then like break it down into like building other objects, or like building it into points so you can select other objects.
That would be cool too, because I have a lot of things that I never use, so like I can recycle those.
Like a
That's
trade
something B-Boz and I have
system.
been talking about. Yeah, we could do something like that at some point.
But yeah, like the completing the daily challenges for someone that already is like has everything.
Send me a direct message on Discord and I'll send it to Bboz, or you can message Bboz directly. But we're thinking about how to kind of improve all that sort of stuff.
I'll send you a direct message for both things.
Cool. What was your question, Alfie?
So, we discovered this thing where you can add friends if you high five and grab. Without. I need a partner, basically. If anyone
Like, it
would
doesn't
like
even.
to.
It doesn't even finish the.
If one person, just one person. if we slowly do that and then grab in the
Hey,
middle.
Sean.
Yeah. You ready?
Can I take a picture with you, bro?
Anyone?
Yeah, sure. 1 second. I gotta.
Does
it complete the friendship, or to just grab their hand, or what happens?
Yeah, can I try it with you? If you do that.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on.
Whoa. Oh,
Weird. It just happened. It takes a while.
do you need me to grip too?
Yeah. We both need to do this and grip.
Oh.
There you go.
Oh, that's cool. Oh,
That's like a shortcut.
Auto-completed it way faster.
Yeah, I don't really get. We were wondering.
that was
whether
not
it
on
was
purpose.
That's so weird.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, I
Yeah.
see. That's bizarre.
Great noises. Okay,
Yeah.
Are you on Discord?
I am.
Can you send me a Discord message and remind me of that?
You do not need to keep following me.
Nope, it was just a trick to make you his friend.
It worked.
A bug.
What?
Hey, can I take a picture?
Somebody was asking for something.
Oh, Juju. Maybe.
I forgot my question.
Sean.
I had
All
another
right. I have. Is it okay if I have like 3 things to talk about?
Okay, we gotta go
Sure.
get Sean.
Okay, first thing I want to talk about is like an issue. Like, whenever I go to the Geometron or something like that, I like sometimes lag out, and I like my hand like is like goes out places. And I don't know what's the problem with that.
That's tracking.
That's probably a tracking issue.
Yeah.
Are you on a Vive or a Rift or?
I'm on a Rift. Like with
It's probably you're probably getting occlusion from your body or the cameras. So
How many
it'll
sensors do you have?
just
How many
start
sensors do
drifting
you
off.
have?
I've also
Alright.
found that when the processor, whenever
We have a
something
picture
usage goes
request.
high, tend to drift.
Okay, I'll be right back. We're gonna do a picture and then I'll be back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just
Lou,
you
don't
sometimes when you can do that.
Can I join you guys?
Or you can join if they want to.
I know, I was just
do
sitting too.
sometimes your hands will just me in the background.
Right. Oh, I can't hear you.
It was Jacob Vibes that wanted the picture, and we can do ones with everybody else too, individually if you guys want.
Let's go.
We don't have to all crowd in. Yeah.
I need to record a full cauldron run so that I
I'll
can
go look at a
footage.
picture.
Let me go
Mhm.
ask if she's still
Sean's like
taking
my
Did that
hero.
work?
Yeah.
I gotta
come on.
go first.
You ass.
Alkamar.
Yee. Did it work?
So,
That
Your
worked.
cat is so big.
Alkamar.
hey, Alkmaar, are you guys still taking footage for those couple of things you requested on the Discord? Or
I
do you
think
have
we
everything
could
you need
still
to
use
put
some
on?
park footage. We have
we were
one
about to
player
just
that's
do a
supposed
run
to
of
send it
Cauldron.
to
We were
a...
about
No,
to
no,
just
we're good
do
on
it.
Cauldron.
Go on Cauldron? Okay.
Thanks.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
You
Yeah,
still want to do
Frogface-
Cauldron? That's my
Frogface
favorite
has
one.
us covered.
Maybe, yeah.
Cauldron's my favorite
let's
one. I
show
still want to go do that anyhow. right there.
Alright,
Oh,
I'll
my
move away
legs.
from Sean if you guys want a Sean pick.
Slowly doing
by
the
the way,
splits.
I
Ow.
Yeah.
saw your
Ow.
colors from earlier.
That
I
hurts.
see you excited.
I don't know
Yes.
how
Hey
aware
guys,
you are of the
guys,
fact
Take a
guys.
picture with the devs.
but
I want to do group pictures, okay?
you know, they're all colors.
doing a
and they
backpack
have
picture.
Alright. I want everyone to go like group up right in the middle so I can go right at the stage and then
You
take
know,
the
if we
picture.
have that maker pen, you know, we can make a tripod.
I'll be right here. Group up in the center.
It is a really good name. Yeah.
Of course you're aware. You were giving us our jerseys.
Alright.
Yeah, I was.
Alright, everyone group up.
Ooh, this is not my dorm room. I do that a lot, unfortunately. Clicking on the wrong buttons and stuff. Ooh. Well, thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. That was a lot of fun. Don't forget to add yourself to the Against Gravity Discord. If you need a link, just hit me up on Twitter. Or, Against Gravity on Twitter. And those of you that don't know, Against Gravity is the company that has made this wonderful game. Yeah, thanks for watching. I'm gonna go play. I don't know about y'all. I'm gonna go play. I've been wanting to play all day. Thanks, guys. I'll see y'all in the next video.